Welcome everyone to episode 34 of Two Guys and Their Gym. And today we have a superstar with us. And this superstar, who someone got certified in the midst of thinking, I never thought of being a personal trainer or being in the fitness industry. Fast forward today, she's here with us. She's a personal trainer. She teaches group classes. She specializes in stretching and flexibility. And we are so honored and humble to have Penny, which is also our AFC buddy, and is also one of our most regular superstar on our show, Noel, since episode 1. Penny has been there every week, and we are so honored to have you here on us with us, Penny.
Thank you, Elvin. Thank you, Noel. So glad to be here.
Welcome. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for doing this. I know it's like, what am I going to come and say to these two guys? But we really appreciate this. And before you go on, I just want to say, I'm just how grateful we are. Because when we started the show 33, 34 episodes ago, we just did it out of a little passion project. But we made friends. We made friends that we've never really got to connect with. And now if someone tells me, hey, do you know Penny? I will say, yes, I know Penny. Although it's not like we hang out all the time, but we made so many friendships and yours is one of it. And it's when we started the show, we never thought that this would be an outcome of the show. We just wanted to help people answer questions. But you know what? We made friends, we reconnected, we formed new connections with colleagues. And so that's why, like, just having you on board today is very extra special for us than having someone that's just out of our radar. So it's just, we are actually very excited, very happy you said yes, because normally Penny is on the other side of the screen. Today she decided to be on the front and to be with us. So awesome. Welcome, Penny. We have some questions for you. We'll get to you shortly. But before we go to that, I have a show and tell for everyone. And as I said this now, like the more I look at my little thing that I want to show and tell, the more I'm getting a little alarmed.
Show us, Noel. What is it?
So let me tell you first. So as you know that my gym Daily Muscle is not open yet. We just wanted to do a few preparations and just get things ready before our official opening, which is going to be sometime next week. Once we have the exact date and the class schedule confirmed, we're going to let all our members know. But we wanted to see, the government says that the criteria now for opening safely for gyms is ventilation, right? That's for everyone, the restaurants, the offices. Ventilation is important. How do you measure ventilation? It's hard. Yes, you can open the window, but doesn't mean the air is going to go through, right? Just like you sign up for a gym membership doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. You got to put in the effort. So same thing. So I was looking for a way to track how well ventilation can happen. And the way to do that, and again, this is actually recommended by the Ministry of Health in their guidelines for gyms reopening, but it's not compulsory. So it's optional. Gyms do not need to buy this little device. But I bought it because I like my little devices and I like buying these little pieces of technology and toys and devices. And I bought it a couple of weeks ago and it arrived today, just in time for our show. What did I buy? I bought a CO2 monitor. It's a carbon dioxide monitor. Here it is. It's running. It's called the AeraNet 4. It's got a wireless connection to my mobile phone and I can download data 24/7 monitoring CO2 levels in our gym. Now, you may be wondering, like, why do you want to monitor CO2 levels? Like, CO2 isn't the issue. You want to measure whether the virus is present, correct? So here's the thing. CO2 happens because there are human beings present in your gym and they are exhaling and expelling what? CO2, carbon dioxide. So it's safe to assume that if CO2 levels are high, that means any airborne particle that you are expelling is also high. But if CO2 levels are low, that means the air is exchanging and the ventilation is good. Now, here's the thing. Today, I got this device, okay? And I'm sitting here in this room, which I always have sat for the past 33, today episode 34, sitting in the same room. My aircon is on. My aircon doesn't take air from the outside. Most of the smaller aircons recirculates air from the inside. It's not just me, by the way. It's also my dog. But I don't know how much air a Kiwi breathes, but she's down here. But here's the scary thing, okay? I've never seen a reading this high the whole of today. Everywhere I put this device today, it's been around 400 something. Even in my gym, I put it in my gym today, it's been 400 something. And this is 1036 parts per million of carbon dioxide. Okay, there's no virus here. Well, if there is, it's only mine. Okay, now let me just tell you this, because if I read the manual, by the way, Ministry of Health's recommendation for gyms, if you buy a device to monitor, is to keep your CO2 levels below 800. I am here sitting in my room. It's not a very big room with my aircon on. I'm not working out. I'm just doing this Instagram live show, and it's already 1,000. That's kind of scary. What it tells me is, it's not that, what are you doing in your room? What it tells me is this room is not ventilated well. That's really it. So after this little message, I'm going to leave my window open and let's see how the number improves, okay? And let me just tell you, I'll just read this one thing and then we'll carry on with our show, because this is the booklet that came together with the monitor. It says that if your CO2 levels are anywhere from 400 to 999, mine has exceeded already, is optimal air quality indoors. So my air quality just now is not optimal. In fact, it says that if you are more than 1,000 parts per million of CO2, your brain cognitive function decreases by 15%. So if I say something stupid for the next 1 hour, it's because my brain cognitive, it's crazy. It's serious, right? And if your parts per million is more than 1,004, your brain cognitive function decreases by 50%. I hope it doesn't go any higher, because that will explain why I start rambling towards the end of the show. But it's eye-opening. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, I'm also very scared, because we bought this device for the gym. Does it mean now we're going to realize that even we are in the studio with 8 people, it's not enough? But, here's the thing. I want to know. I want to know if it's not enough, because then we can keep people safe. It's crazy. And a lot of people also messaged me today to say, okay, now it's saying 3,114. It's because I was holding the sensor and blocking the sensor. Okay, it's not because I'm brain dead. Not brain dead yet. We'll let the numbers normalize. It refreshes every 5 minutes. Okay, give it a break. But also here's the thing. A few of y'all asked me. I'm not selling this thing. You have to buy this from overseas. I bought it from Amazon.com. It's the easiest way to do it. It comes out to around 1,200 ringgit per device. For most people, one is enough. I bought 3 because we have 3 different significant locations. We have our 5th floor, we have a ground floor, a unicorn room, and our PT studio. And again, it's just information, it's data, because why guess when you can be more accurate about it? So yes, windows can be open, and we'll see what happens when I open my window shortly, and maybe we'll update you at the end of the show. But it's crazy. So Kim is going, oh my God. She's thinking like, yeah, you're sitting in that room and you're going stupid all the time. Absolutely. It's scary. It's scary, but it's and I read somewhere else also where 2 people drove in a car. They drove in a Tesla, which has fantastic ventilation. They drove for 3 hours, and the parts per million went by more than 2,000. So even when you're in a car and you don't realize, because we survive. It's not that you're working out or doing something that's hard in the car. It's good to know. It's just information. So that's my show and tell. As you can see, I'm passionate about little toys and devices. If you want to know how to buy it, just send me a message. I'll send you the link. I don't make any money from it. It took us about 2 weeks for the device to arrive. There's also multiple options. You can go to Lazada and look for a CO2 monitor. And I consulted with a few engineers with this, okay, to make sure you bought the right one. These few engineers told me that, yes, there are cheaper ones. You can buy one for 30 ringgit. You can buy one for 50 ringgit. They said the next best one is actually one by Xiaomi, the Xiaomi brand. But they said that you buy it from China, but it's also 1,000 ringgit anyway. They said that the reason why these 2 brands are very expensive is because it actually uses an infrared sensor and not some sort of thing that just sticks out and tries to measure the CO2. So you don't want to have an inaccurate reading, because maybe your room is safe, but it tells you it's not safe, and that's just bad for business. So spend the extra, buy the device, keep it in your home. I have a few clients who actually have this in their home. How interesting is that? Still says 3,000. It's a bit scary, but that's okay. So yeah, that's my show and tell. I hope you found that useful. So to my members, my clients returning to the gym in over the next 10 to 14 days, we will have these monitors in our gym, so you know that whether the outside air, whether the inside air is as good as the outside air. And if you're training at a gym now that doesn't have these monitors, that's okay. Just make sure that their windows are open and it's fine. Kim is saying I'm rambling already. Yeah, because according to this, I'm 50% below brain capacity already. But
That's great, Noel. I love it. I think it's very important that we know there's so many devices out there also, just like thermometer, there's the cheap one, there's the slightly more pricey one. What we're going to do is Noel is going to put the link on the Facebook version. You can check that out and you can search for other variety. And Noel, perhaps you should bring that into the cinema and then we can see what happens, what number we get out of it. Huh?
actually, the first time I came across this was actually, there's this guy on Twitter. His name is Paul Tan. He bought this and he went to the gym the first day it opened. He went to his gym and he put a hour to hour reading on how it changed. And he said that he went there was no one in the gym. Here's the reading, and he started to go higher. The gym owner opened the window and then the reading started to drop. So ventilation works, opening the window works. This is just a way to measure it. So I'll keep you all updated, tell you how it goes. We're going to do some dry run testing. In fact, so I'm going to open the window of my little tiny room now. You see it's starting to drop already, but this is what it dropped to. So that means, although I was holding it in my hand, Alvin, the 1004 that you saw just now may have been exaggerated, but this is what it is. And I'm scared to think that if I stay here until 10 o'clock, oh my goodness, and sometimes you have after parties some more. Crazy. Really, the brain party. So I'm going to keep a window open and maybe check in with y'all and see what the number is, and then we will see. So as I get my sanity back again. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Noel, for a little show and tell. That's something that we missed for the past few episodes. So right here, we have Penny, and we're going to start getting to our topic of the week, which is having a flexible body important? And that's because Penny's specialization is flexibility. So we're going to tap on that. If you are watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, if you have any questions, all you have to do is comment your questions below. And if you're on Facebook and LinkedIn, I invite you to share this live so that you can reach out to more people. And on Instagram, I believe you can tag someone that your friends who can find this episode benefit. So without further ado, I think our first question is to Penny. Noel, I would like to know.
Yeah, so Penny, so now it's been the whole 18, 19 months of pandemic, and I know you're training people as on a part-time basis, and maybe before you even get into a little bit of background on what you're doing right now, can I just ask you as a fitness trainer to another fitness trainer, like, how are you doing? Like, how's this whole thing affecting you in a good way, bad way? I don't know. Just just tell us how are you doing, Penny?
To be honest, when the first lockdown started last year, I enjoyed it. I was so busy with my online training. I mean, obviously, it's not something, it's something new and trying to get you. The first few weeks was hard, trying to adjust, getting the Zoom set up, getting space in my little apartment, training people, can't see them, everybody is all on the screen. Yeah, so it took me maybe 2 to 3 weeks. But once I get into it, I've been telling people, I enjoy my lockdown, don't disturb me. And then, I mean, I have classes like 4 or 5 classes a week. So that kept me busy because I plan during the day. My classes are all in the evening. So I spend during the day, I would do planning, preparation, because every day will be different classes, different type of format, so that my members won't get bored. And then besides that, I learn cooking, more cooking. So that's why I enjoy my lockdown.
And that's awesome, right? So yes, I always tell people that there is a silver lining. Yes, this whole lockdown, we all wish it never happened. But if you look hard enough, there is a silver lining. At the same time, there are some trainers who just never got to adapt to the whole online thing. And I can understand that, because it depends what you're doing. Because if you're coaching athletes who need to be out there and need some specialized equipment, or they need certain amount of weights to lift, then it's going to be hard. But I'm guessing that your clients who, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your clients as well, the people that you serve were able to immediately train online, and you were busier than before. That's what I hear you
Yeah.
saying. And you
Mm-hmm.
also learn how to cook and spend time on learning. Like last week, we had Jonathan Wong with us, who said that this whole lockdown, he's just learned so much. So it's an opportunity to learn. You would have probably had more time to spend with your clients as well, and that's great. But tell us also a little bit more about your day, Penny. You don't do this full time, right? You're not a full time trainer, not like Alvin and I, where so you do other things during the rest of your day. So how's that
Yeah.
schedule and your whole fitness thing?
Yeah. Sure. I actually planning to go full time. Right now during the day, because I have a family business that I have to help out my sibling for just half a day in the morning because we are short of staff and because of all this COVID thing, we are cutting costs. So my siblings say, can you help us out for just half a day in the morning and evening? I'm still doing my fitness work. I do my workout. So, and then I told them, I say, you know what? Things are getting slightly better. People are vaccinated. The gyms are reopening.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I want to go full time in my fitness. Yeah, so I really want to go full time. I mean, there's so much more to do than just spend half a day. Things are just sometimes bits and pieces. Um, in fact, last week I started doing rehab work. I partner with a chiro, a spine specialist chiro. I have this idea of going to. I think that's you guys might be thinking. So that's why that will give me hopefully clients coming in, and then people are still not fully. Some of them are not fully vaccinated, just waiting for them to come the session with me. So hopefully that will keep me busy, and then I will have more reason to tell my sibling, leave me alone. I want to go full time. Yeah.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Penny. Your family business is a convenience store in Penang, right?
Yeah, just a small convenience store selling candies. Yeah, selling candies, tidbits.
Ah,
Yeah,
Selling
candies,
candy is
tidbits.
good business.
it is. It
Yes.
is.
Can I ask you before
So
I pass you to Alvin for the next question? Can I ask you, Penny, how did you get involved in this whole fitness thing? What's your story? Like like
that's
like
a
I have my
very
story.
good
Alvin
question.
has his. I'm curious what's yours. I think everyone has a unique story to tell.
Yes.
Do you have your a story? Like how did you get into this?
Yes.
How
Yes,
did
I
you get
do.
into why did you attend AFC many years ago and your calling came? Like just give us a bit of a background on how you arrived where you are today.
Sure. I'm actually not a fitness person to begin with. Not active in sport, did nothing. I think some of us are like that too, right? So what happened was I started going to the gym to work out when I was studying in the US. My school has very impressive gym. Obviously, at that time, I don't have any knowledge about fitness, so all I did was cardio, getting on treadmill, getting on cross trainer, getting on rowing machine. Yeah. So after that, when I came back, after I graduated, I came back, I started working. My background is IT. Yeah, I had a degree in IT. Very boring.
Hey, not boring,
So,
me too. I have a background in IT. We are interesting people.
you know what? It's when I think that I'm like, oh gosh, programming. Damn, what makes me get into a degree in IT? Yeah, so I had my degree in IT, and then when I came back, I started working for a multinational company. And then my company has very nice gym facility as well. So I continue on, did my workout. And then I think sometime in maybe year 2000, my company has a recreational club, a dragon boat team. So they send a communication to recruit members to join. I just blindly sign up, not knowing what the sports is all about, no fitness level, nothing, maybe beginner fitness level doing cardio workout. So I just joined the sport. And I realized that, oh shoot, I have to go for gym training. I have to build up my strength. I have to build up my stamina. So okay. So I kind of like stepped back, took things a little bit slow, trying to digest. And for me, once I'm committed, I'm not going to pull out. So I told myself, I'm going to do it. So as time went on, 13 years, I was doing the sports, competing, racing. And I think sometime about 8 years ago, I injured my back. So I had a minor slip disc once. And then after a year, my backbone just slanted slightly to the right. So my doctor said, Penny, you got to stop all this sports. Your back, you have very, very weak back. You can't do this anymore. I'm like, oh my God, it's like everything just crashed on me after so many years doing the sports. So from then on, I actually signed up for personal for a PT to train me. So I was under his care. He was helping me to heal my back, strengthen my back. I was under his coaching for about 9 months, I think, 9 months to a year. So after I was completely healed, that's where I started. You know what? I think I love fitness. I love lifting weights. So for me, I don't like to just YouTube and train people. I don't like to just on my own, just, I need people to do that a lot. So nope. So I get myself certified, went for my personal trainer course. That was about 8 or 9 years ago. So after I got certified, I actually was kind of like still hanging there, not doing anything full time. Um, but I started teaching group fitness class. And I realized I enjoy teaching group than doing PT. So kind of like a reverse. Yeah, you won't believe this. I'm like, I got certified as a PT, but I love teaching group class. So I've been doing that for like, I think maybe 6 to 7 years. I only started really going into a personal trainer job like early last year, just before the lockdown.
If you had to choose, Alvin's getting a bit on the edge because Alvin does PT and I do group, but there's value. I was a PT as well before, but I must say I enjoy group for many reasons. But at the same time, I see the value in PT. But if you had to choose, Penny, would you do more group or would you do more PT?
PT.
Don't say both. Okay, do more PT. Okay.
PT.
And why
I
is
wanted
that?
to say both.
And why is that?
I need to apply what I've learned as a personal trainer. I mean, it's like I'm diverting so many knowledge, so much knowledge I learn. All the information that comes to my mind is really like very customized to a particular person, right? And then and when you do group coaching, I wish I could really like correct some of the mistake that the members do, but I can't. When you're in a group, you only maybe just say a few words. You only can spend, it's different. So yeah,
Correct.
if I have a choice,
So
I want to move more
so true.
to PT.
When you are one-on-one with someone, you get to actually teach, put all that things into practice. It's very different, and both have their strengths. Group has its strength,
Right.
and PT
Right.
has its strength as well, and they are both
Right.
an amazing way to be in the fitness industry. Awesome, thank you, Penny. I never knew this story from you. It wasn't in the CV that you submitted to me.
Yes.
But over to Alvin.
Yeah.
I think I love that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Penny. You want to finish that off?
Yeah. I think when I went for my first AFC in 2015, I think that's where my love for fitness just grew. I'm like such an eye opener, such a great experience. So I said I have the opportunity to be there, and then I said, you know what, fitness is the thing for me. I don't care. Nobody's gonna stop me.
That was it. That's amazing. I love your AFC story. I'll make sure the people from AFC know this. But here's the thing: my fitness career also 10x when I went for AFC because I did the whole personal training thing. I started my own business, but when I went outside to a fitness convention and saw that there was so much more to this, and there's all these things that I do not know and I want to learn. That's when I realized that, oh my gosh, this is huge. And it took me to travel to an international convention to do that. And I've never stopped going ever since. But my turning point in my fitness career would also be AFC. And it's also yours, Penny. And I think maybe for Alvin, I don't know, but I met Alvin in AFC. That's a really turning point for.
I met you guys in AFC.
There we go. So
I think AFC is like
sponsor this show. Or
yes.
We don't meet back home in our home country. We met
how interesting is that, right? I think it's cool because like the three of us are hungry for knowledge and we go somewhere, and when you bump into someone else in another country, you are like, oh my gosh, here are the passionate people from my country, and let's connect. And let's do that, because here everyone's passionate, but how do you weed out those people who are really hungry for knowledge and wanting to progress their career? Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Penny. Over to you, Alvin. Alvin has a bunch of questions to ask you as well.
Yes, I love that. I love your story, Penny, and I love that you mentioned about AFC. I really think AFC is a magical place where all amazing people gather around. And if you are watching this, if you're a fitness trainers, group instructor, I invite you to Google what is AFC, Asian Fitness Conference. plan for the next one. It's next year, tentatively in May. If you are going in Malaysia, reach out to Noel and I. We can perhaps go in a group, get a group discounts. We can work things out for EFC. And coming back to EFC, I think if you are a fitness professional and if you go to EFC, it's a niche already because you are hungry for knowledge. Fitness professional goes to FC, always walk away with specialization, special things. And that is what Penny is today, her flexibility training. So coming back to that, Penny, I'd like to ask, for all of us who are watching this and they think that, okay, flexibility training is good. I know I need to stretch, but it's not important. I'm more focused on lifting the weights, doing the cardio. What would you advise them, Penny?
Okay, I think things happen, then only people will take action, I believe. Because to me, flexibility, stretching exercises are your basic, your foundation. Before you even attempt to squat 50 kilo, 100 kilo, if you have very tight quads, you have very tight glutes, how are you going to perform, right? And you also risk of getting injuries. So fitness shouldn't make you injure. Exercise shouldn't make you injure. So that's very important. I think I've seen or I've spoken to people, when they feel injured, they're like, oh, I'm not going to do this workout anymore because I feel injured, because I have very tight muscle. I can't do this, I can't do that. So I always advise, go back to basic. Even I like basketball. I rate Michael Jordan. He does yoga every week, every month. I'm like,
I never knew that. Wow.
Yes, I read those days when I was in school. I like basketball, and then Michael Jordan is like the superstar. Yeah, he does yoga. So I've been trying to tell people, hey, athletes, they do stretching. It's so important, especially if you are competing, if you have a race, people who does marathons. Like for me, doing Dragon Boat, never know about flexibility back then. That's why I'm so injured at that time. The whole body just break out.
And I think when you say stretching, people just imagine. I go back to my schooling days where in Pendidikan Jasmani, the teacher will say, okay, kita buat stretching dulu. And then everyone tries to reach their toes. We don't know what we're doing, right? And then when you go for, even if you go for a group class in any health club, and the stretching seems to be the last few minutes where this is when the people leave the class because they have to go and they miss the stretching. This is when your PT client says that I gotta go. Can I skip the stretching and stretch it? It's the part where everyone likes to leave. So for you, how do you help your clients with stretching? Is it just the last few minutes of the class? I'm sure it's not. So how can the rest of us watching this get more stretching in our life? Like really, do we need a special yoga class because that's how it helps, or do we? How do we get more stretching in our life? How do we prioritize stretching, Penny?
Yeah, so in fact, people who if let's say you tend to deprioritize because you're in a hurry, you don't have time, how about spending maybe the last 10 minutes before you go to bed? I'm sure you can have that last 10 minutes, right? To just stretch your body.
Is to check social media before you go to bed.
Do it together.
Shut up your social. And I'm sure everyone knows, right? You're not supposed to be on your phone or on your device before going to bed, right? It's going to impact your sleep. So spend the last 10 minutes. Or when you wake up in the morning before you go straight to the bathroom, spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So start small. I'm sure if one day, if you can spend 10 minutes to stretch, imagine 7 days, how much time you already did, probably like an hour of stretching.
So it doesn't have to be at the gym. You don't need to go to the gym to stretch. You don't have to do a workout in order to stretch. You can actually set aside some time and stretch. I think that's what people are going to realize.
Yeah, and if you are someone who is not motivated, some people they feel that stretching is boring. They feel that, I'm just staying there for half an hour, just not doing much. Yeah. But how about joining a class, joining a yoga class, Tai Chi class, Pilates class, stretching class, so that you can get motivated if that's the reason that you don't want to stretch. Yeah. So many things. You can even stretch while you're driving. When you're at the traffic light, red light, stop the car, just stretch your hands out. So many things you can do. Yeah.
Maybe it's safer in Penang,
Penang roads are not safe, okay? Hello. Shelly is saying on Instagram that she's stretching right now while watching the show.
Watching
There
the
you go.
show.
There you
So
go.
everyone
There you
watching the
go.
show, do some
Oh.
stretching, and maybe later Penny will tell us where we can go and find some stretches that we can do at some point. Or stay tuned to the Facebook post, and we will maybe post some resources and where we can get some tips on stretching. But okay, great. So there you go. So if you've always been someone who's been deprioritizing stretching, because let's face it, most of us deprioritize our workouts. Now you want me to stretch some more? So the thing about stretching is you don't have to work out in order to stretch. You can improve your flexibility even at home, even before you go to bed, or even when you wake up. And that, I think that's a game changer. I think we don't realize, we don't think of it that way, Penny. We think of it as in like,
Yeah.
I need to go to the gym and work on my flexibility, but actually we don't have to.
Yeah, let me just add on, I'm
Yes.
sure most of you know, or most people know the benefit of stretching, right? It's not just being flexible. Think of it, it improves your performance, it helps you relax. We are so stressful nowadays, especially with this pandemic. The stress level is like super high, right? So think of that benefit, and also think of the risk of reducing injuries, not just in your exercise, even your day-to-day activities. When you do house chores, you got to be flexible to be able to bend down and stand up, getting things. Yeah. So those are the day-to-day activities. I try to coach people in that area instead of just thinking of, exercise to be flexible. No, no, no. It's your day-to-day activities, your daily life.
All right. I think also very important to share the idea that a lot of people assume that flexibility is just stretching, which is static stretching. But when we look at flexibility and mobility, there's dynamic stretching, there's form rolling, there's trigger points. So you can also use like those rumble roller, different kinds of. Noel, you have so many show and tell on all those devices in the past episode. So those are a form of flexibility training too, right, Penny?
Yep. Oh, I love those stuff. I love on my house. I have like a whole bunch of those tennis store little trigger point balls, foam rollers, bands. I have so many in my house right now. So I can't. I really need those. I do that all the time. I even do my own stretching.
Fantastic. Penny, we have a question here that is for you. And the question asks, should I do static stretching as a warm-up before a workout? Should I stretch before a workout?
Actually, static stretching is more for after workout. Before workout, typically you would do dynamic stretching. So dynamic stretching is more like a continuous movement pattern, like doing a trunk twist, doing walking lunges. Those are more dynamic stretching. You would just want to do that prior to your workout. You want to get your body warm up. And then after, when you are done with your workout, your muscles are all super tight, I'm pretty sure, especially lifting weights. So you then for on, you need static stretching. So static stretching is basically you would extend your muscle to a maximum point, and then you would hold there for like 20 to 30 seconds at least, and you would stretch like 2 to 3 times for the same muscle area. So that's a static stretching.
Right. So you want to do more dynamic movements before the workout. So keep static stretching at the end as a warm down, right, Penny?
Yep.
Great.
I think one way to think of it also is to like, I'm not sure where I heard this analogy. I don't take credit for this analogy, but is to think of your muscle as if it's plasticine, or has anyone played with plasticine before? I have. Later on, they had Play-Doh. Play-Doh doesn't work. But who has played with
No.
plasticine before?
Yes.
Alvin, no, right? Your Play-Doh generation, right?
No.
Plasticine.
I have.
Okay,
Yeah.
plasticine is the thing you can buy from the Kedai Runcit last time. Now you can't. It's this
So
little
we know
long,
each
long
other's age
thing.
right now.
We know each other's age. It's hard, but it becomes softer when you start to knead it, and it has some warmth from your hands, and it becomes more flexible. So your muscles are just also like that. You need some warmth in it. You don't just suddenly like boom, static stretch. And what happens when you take the plasticine and you pull, it breaks. But if you knead it and you go gentle and you roll and you do all these things, you'll find that the plasticine can stretch. So your body is just like that. So hence your dynamic warm-ups and all of those things before you bam hit the weights and try to squat your 120 kgs. You warm up with dynamic stretching, and that's it. So plasticine and not what's the other one? Not Play-Doh. Yeah, plasticine.
Right.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching, so I'm
I
going to
want
give a
to add
call to
something.
action.
Yes.
Yes, Penny, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to add something. If you want to do any stretching exercises, make sure your body is warm up. You don't stretch when your body is cold. That's very important. Maybe just jog on the spot or do a little bit of jumping jack. Just get your body warm up for 5-10 minutes before you attempt to do any stretching exercise. So that's very important because some people do not know. It's like, oh, stretching, I just get on in it and then I start stretching. No.
Yeah. Same thing. Just take it easy. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. There's a couple of comments on Instagram. I wanna read that out. But Alvin, you're saying something before I go on to Instagram.
Right. So my call to action, those of you who are watching, I invite you to post more questions. Penny is here. Ask her anything you want about flexibility, stretching, movements, and we're going to answer them. Post your question in the comment on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I'm going to pass to you, Noel. I see Instagram that are some comment coming in.
Yes, that's right. Darmin says it's most people fail to understand how important stretching is, and so true. And stretching is the thing we leave to the end, and we want to ditch it. It's so true. It helps loosen your muscles. Darmin is adding, and I know Darmin for a while. Darmin's been training. I'm not sure what Darmin's training routine is now, but at some point in our fitness journey, we both did CrossFit together. That's me and Darmin. It helps. I don't do CrossFit anymore, but at some point we did. That's how I know Darmin. Darmin says it helps loosen your muscles so that it's pliable, thus increasing mobility. This is so important, especially when you're about to lift heavy. That's it. There you go. Lots of people want to lift heavy, but they want to neglect this small part because stretching is not sexy. It's not cool.
It
It's
can
not.
be.
Wow. To who,
If you're
right?
doing it right, it can
Correct.
be.
So, but to most people, it's like no lah. I don't want to stretch that. Let me just go and straight away lift that thing, and then they get themselves injured. And that's why we have so many physiotherapists right now making a lot of money because everybody's getting injured because they don't take the time to stretch and not just stretch, but prep and warm up and mobility and just prepare your body for all of that. So that's just what I wanted to read out from Instagram. But so true, Penny. So to my friends on Instagram and Facebook, Penny is our stretching expert. She believes very strongly in preparing your body, in getting ready for your movements. If you have any questions for her or for us, comment below. We'll read your questions out. Just a quick update. Remember, I said I opened my window, Elvin. So you see the CO2 levels have now dropped to 774. So my brain is now actually okay. It's dropped. So
Hi, Noel.
I'm back. Opening the windows work. Opening the windows work. It's crazy, right? I just closed the windows and it went to unhealthy levels. So that's just bizarre. So opening the windows work. I'll keep you updated when if to see the number drops even more. And there is one question on Instagram. Let me read that before we go on to the next question. This question comes from Sumita. She's saying, "Can I do the same dynamic stretching every day, or does it depend on what kind of workout I'm doing?"
Every day, well, something is better than nothing, I would say. Yeah. If you can do dynamic stretching every day, you have the time, go for it. Don't stop. And also depends on your workout. Any workout that you do, any attempt workout that you want to do, you want to run, you want to lift weights, stretching, prep your body. You still have to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So yes, and if I can add to that, I would say that yes, we should all stretch every day. But if you know that you were going to go to the gym today and today's your squat day and you want to lift heavier than usual, then maybe you spend a bit more time on your lower body mobility and stretches. If you know that today I'm not going to do any upper body, maybe you can spend more time on your lower body thing. But it's true. You can do the same stretching every day, working out or not. That's what I would say. Elvin, do you want to add anything to this?
I'm just going to put a link to an ACSM journal that's going to give you a complete, comprehensive overview on dynamic warm-ups that you can do before your any sorts of workout, be it you're going for a run or you're going to lift weights in the gym or at home. Check that link on Facebook comment section.
Awesome. Thank you, Sumita, for asking that question. There's one question from Darmin here. I think we will take that before we go on to a couple of other questions we have for you, Penny. Darmin is asking, he's saying, Penny, I have a question. So polite, Darmin. I'm struggling with hip mobility. My usual go-tos are the pigeon stretches, but just wondering um, what would be cues on your clients with tight hip and squat? So what would you tell your clients, Penny, who come to you with tight hips and tight quads? What would you get them to work on other than the pigeon stretches, which Darmin is already doing?
They can even do like a hip 90-90 stretch where you at the sitting position, you bend your knees, you fit flat on the floor, and then you just turn side to side. That's a very good hip mobility exercise. You can actually add that to that. I think pigeon stretch. A lot of people, I've seen people who does that. Right, they don't make sure that your hip can actually sink as low as possible and touching to the ground. If your hips are very tight, you notice that you're actually floating. So make sure you stretch correctly in that pigeon pose as well to get the best out of it. And if you have very tight hip, yeah, just do it slow. Then gradually, if you become more flexible around your hip area, so you can actually like sink low on your hip when you do that kind of stretch. So that's one thing for you to progress further.
Yeah, maybe I
Awesome.
can also add on to the main question is that you also want to look at other form of stretching. You can perhaps foam roll it first, foam roll your hip flexor, your glutes, and then carry on with what Penny suggested with various stretches. And if like pigeon stretch doesn't suit you or you feel like it's so difficult, perhaps a regression, like just a simple lying hip stretch where you bend your knees and pull it towards your body.
Right.
I think that would give you more benefit out of trying to figure out a challenging position. So give all a try, Dami.
Yeah, I think the foam rolling one will be a good start before you go for a more other additional stretcher. The rolling will actually help to release the fascia, the area just around your muscle. Yeah. So then that will give you a little bit more flexibility before you attempt to go for further stretching exercises.
Awesome. I'm sure, Darmin, do you have a foam roller? If you don't, just let me know. I'll hook you up with one. Okay. That's my gift to you. Okay.
Ask
Awesome.
more questions.
Ask more
Noel got
questions,
gifts.
everyone. I'm giving away gifts. So Darmin, yes, if you just message me. I had this is really cool foam roller. I think I did it in one of my show and tell. It's called the Roga. It's really it's life changing. And I can hook you up around those because we bought so many for our gym and we're not using it right now. So I'll give you one. Just let me know.
Wow.
I'll do that. Good. Next question for you, Penny. What's next for you now that gyms are reopening? I know you're doing the whole virtual thing. Are you going to find a studio that you can teach in? Are you applying for jobs elsewhere in other states, in other countries to teach virtually? What is your plan? You did mention that you want to do fitness full time. Tell us a little bit more about what is your next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months looking like?
Yeah, rehab is the area that I want to go further into. I had the idea just before COVID started of maybe partnering with a chiro to do PT rehab. So when the first lockdown came in, everything just on hold, didn't do much. So good thing, this year sometime in May, I managed to hook up with a chiro, chatted with him, and suddenly June 1st we had the third lockdown. So yeah, and then I've been spending since June until June, July, August, September, so until end of August, doing the planning with him. We actually developed some online courses on stretching, on strengthening. Those are very basic. You can do it with your body weight. So it's still under, we have done all the filming, just matter of putting it into the website and then announce it out. So, and then last week, I started my first PT rehab where I had my client. And then I think a few more are coming up, just that they have not completed the second dose of the vaccine and the 14 days thing. So once they are done, I'll be having more clients, mainly on the rehab area.
Great. So these are in person and not really just virtual.
Yeah, it's more on in person.
Sure. And what's your virtual scenario looking like? Are you pursuing that? Are you
Well, the virtual, it depends. Once my classes resume, I don't know if I still have my time to do my virtual classes. With the traveling in and out, I'll see how it goes. But I'm still doing my weekly virtual class for now.
okay?
And then,
Okay.
yeah, just that my gym is reopened. The classes have not resumed yet. So once they resume, then I'll see how things goes, whether I'll still keep my virtual class or whether my clients wanted to continue on with the virtual training. So we'll see how it
Okay.
goes.
Did
Yeah.
you have any clients who train with you only virtual, or all these people training with you because they can't train with you at the gym?
Just because they can't train in the gym, so they
Right.
came.
So that means when the gym opens, they can see you face to face, and they don't really need the virtual anymore. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Otherwise,
yeah. And then some of my,
my typical advice to any trainer will be to, like, you want to stop your virtual? Are you kidding? But your virtual clients are because these are your in-person clients that you're
yeah,
now able to transition back to them face to face. That makes
right.
sense.
She's more
But
towards PT, Noel.
That's right. Hey, you can do PT virtually as well. Where there's
That's
Yeah,
a
I'm
right.
will,
actually,
there's a way.
I'm actually open to do virtual PT, or if there's any request. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm open for suggestion. I don't have a problem with that. Just a matter of adjusting. Get
yeah,
to meet and build the rapport, and then get the right people in.
yeah. It's
I'm there to
doable.
help.
If anyone needs a word of encouragement, I can tell you that Kim does like 5 to 6 virtual PT sessions a day, and it's not
It's
stopping,
doing.
and more people are coming in, and people just
Yep.
need that. People just need someone to be with them and to coach them, even if you're not in front of them face to face. If you can
Yeah.
be in front of them face to face, even better. But there are people out there who are, they're not ready to come back to the gym.
Yep.
There are. And there's some people out there who may never be able to get vaccinated because of certain health conditions that they may have, and they need a PT as well. So just saying to all those who are still training online that online thing is here to stay while the
Right.
gym opens, but it's good. And PT is awesome. But I'm just trying to say the both of y'all are like full on into PT. So I just wanted to say that
Yes.
PT
Yes.
works. People need that one-to-one touch. Not everyone can survive on a YouTube video which gives you no feedback. You just watch the video, whether you fall down and break your ankle, the video doesn't know, life goes on, right? It's just so different from having an actual person who can coach you through, help you, force you, make sure you do your flexibility and don't just log off and get off Zoom, right? So that we need that person that we can be accountable to. Awesome.
Right.
Over to you,
And
Alvin.
if you are looking for someone to help you improve your flexibility, we invite you to reach out to Penny because we're going to share her social media handles in a bit. And Penny, you are so true that having a niche is so important, like coming back to flexibility. And if you need assistance from Noel and I, like I myself is specialized in corrective exercise, so perhaps that can give you another avenue to look into from NASM or from ACE. So do reach out to us, Penny. And I'm going to pass to Noel to move to our little rapid fire questions to Penny. And I love what you have here for Noel.
Here's our highlight, Penny. So there's some things we don't tell you about that we're gonna ask
Yes.
you. So I have a bunch of questions here. And no, I don't overthink the questions. Just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. There's no right or wrong answer. Okay. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your go-to order at your favorite restaurant? The first thing, your favorite restaurant, what would you always order?
Coffee.
There you go. If you went to your gym tomorrow and you found 10 million ringgit outside at the doorstep, what would you spend it on?
Travel.
Yes. To San Francisco. That's where she's going.
Yes.
Next question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Where would it be? San Francisco.
I knew it. What is something that you have what is something that you have not been successful with, or something that you failed at?
Something that I fail at. Mm. I tend to think too much. So overthinking sometimes just won't get me anywhere. So I try to remind myself, just get on and do it. You know the outcome at the end of it. Doesn't matter. It's not a life. It's not a death or life thing, right? So
Got it. Love that. What is the first thing you do when you wake up?
Shower.
I thought you were going to say stretching, but you said shower. Shower. Good answer.
You warm the muscle first, Noel. You warm the
Correct.
muscle first.
So warm.
Yes, shower, warm shower.
Warm shower. There you go. It stretches in the shower. Makes sense. Two more questions, Penny. If you had to
Sure.
write a book tomorrow, what would you write about?
How to be different than you are from yesterday.
Wow.
Nice.
Love that. I want to steal that topic. Okay, great. Last question. If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Mango sticky rice.
Oh my gosh, you two are the same.
High five.
You two are the same. Okay, so AFC lah. Next year, make sure you all book your tickets. Come to AFC.
I have my pass. Remember, I have my free pass.
You have your free pass? How come you have a free
I
pass?
won the free pass from
Lucky
the AFC online.
Oh my gosh, you won a free ticket to
Me
AFC.
and Aziza, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Aziza too, right? I
No,
remember.
we had the whole lucky draw on the online thing. That's right. Wow.
Yes, I'm
Great. Well-
ready to go, man.
Well, lucky for you, I'm paying for my ticket. No. I'm paying, Alvin's paying, but we'll be there. We can't wait for AFC to come back. Wow. Okay. Wow. Awesome. That's all I had to ask from you today. Maybe there's one more thing, Penny. Is there something that you wanted to share that I did not get a chance to ask you about today? Was there something you wanted to tell us about that I did not cover, that Alvin and I didn't cover?
I think we pretty much cover all that. I'm just grateful that you guys invited me here and just enjoy. Like I said, I look forward to this session it's like a thing to me now. So I was just asking Alvin, like, are you guys gonna continue this? Like, are you guys gonna stop?
We're gonna continue. We're gonna look at ways to improve this. And now that the gyms are open, maybe one day I will drive to Kajang and do a show with Alvin right there, face to face. We'll improve it. We'll figure this out. Two guys in their gyms, and it's here to stay. It's here to stay.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
And we only get better. So thank you so much, Penny, for being with us. I invite all of you who are watching this to follow Penny on Facebook. Her handles are on the Facebook and Instagram live version down here. I'm also going to put them on the comment section so you can reach out to her. And I invite you to share one takeaway from today's episode in the comment below, because Noel and I would like to know what you love and to feed on all these feed forward or feedback that we can improve on our upcoming shows. And if you have any guests that you want them to or want us to have a conversation with them, we invite you to, of course, DM us or tag them so that they can see our show, we can know about each other, and we can see how we can plan for something amazing. Okay, and lastly, all the links and resources are on the Facebook version. Okay, so I invite you to check that out. If you like it, please share so that it can reach out to more people. With that being said, we are close to our time. I'm going to say thank you all so much for being with us. Noel and I appreciate you spending your Monday night with us, and it's already 10. We love this time with you.